There are another drugs in anesthesia which causes loss of consciousness along with analgesia, but these are the drugs which causes only relieve the pain, which causes the end of any pain. So this is the one of the important component of modern day analgesic, used in perioperative situation, means during the OT operation or after the operation, post-op management or any severe pain management or chronic pain management. Opium, the word derived from opion, which means that poppy seeds, poppy juice, which is called Papaver somniferum. You also know in your pharmacology class, opium derived drugs are called opiates. So those drugs which are derived from this opium means the poppy seeds, and it is chemically altered and synthesized. The whole of the drugs are called opiates. Now the first derived drug from the opium, you know, the morphine. Morphine is derived first in 1803, and then codeine and papaverine. And these chemical structures, all of the drugs are alkaloids. These are natural alkaloids of opium. Based on the chemical structures, the center chemical structures, the opium alkaloids are classified in two groups, phenanthrenes and benzyl isoquinolones. Phenanthrenes are morphine, codeine and thebaine, and benzyl isoquinolones are papaverine and noscapine. Now the semisynthetic opioids. Semisynthetic opioids means it is also derived from the natural opioids, but there is simple chemical modification of the morphine molecule. Some is altered, like some is oxidated, some is alkaline, that is codeine and heroin. You also know these terms, that codeine and heroin. Codeine are used in previous time, that cough syrup for its cough depressant action, but now it is totally banned because it has addictive potential, and heroin is the most abused drug. Now the synthetic opioids, it has no natural component, it is completely synthesized in lab, and it contains phenanthryl nucleus of morphine. These drugs are used commonly in our OTs and post-op cases, that is methadone, pentazocine, meperidine. Meperidine is also called as pethidine, fentanyl, sufentanil, alfentanil, remifentanil. Now the mechanism of actions. Opioid alkaloids acts on the opioid receptors. These receptors are in our central nervous system, also the peripheral nervous system. Where is the central nervous system? That is contains brain and spinal cord, and peripheral nervous system means peripheral nerves in the synaptic junctions. These opioid receptors stays, and the specific opioid receptor as the presynaptic and postsynaptic sites of CNS means brainstem and spinal cord, and also PNS, that is peripheral nervous systems. So the opioids acts on these receptors and causes the activation of pain modulating system, that is anti-nociceptive systems. And there are many types of receptors, but mainly we know the mu receptor, kappa and delta. Mu are two types, 1 and 2. That effects comes in mu receptor activation and kappa receptor activation and delta receptor activation. Mu receptor mediated actions are analgesia, means relief of pain. Next is respiratory depression. This is most important after analgesia. all of the drugs cause respiratory depression except some. Analgesia, respiratory depression. Another component is sedation, euphoria, meiosis. You all know that poisoning of opium causes meiosis in eye. There is constriction of the pupil. Bradycardia means slowing of heart rate below 50 per minute. Hypothermia, extreme cold extremities happens in opium poisoning. And physical dependence. These are the result of mu receptor activation and kappa receptor activation. Mu receptors mainly, main sites of mu receptors are brainstem, but kappa and delta are in brainstem as well as spinal cord. Kappa receptor activation causes spinal analgesia, dysphoria and sedation. Dysphoria means sometimes there is euphoria, sometimes there is depressive effect, and sedation. And delta receptor activation causes spinal analgesia and affective behavior change and respiratory depression. Now, based on the receptor affinity, that is the another classification. This is the most important classification. Based on the receptor affinity, their uses are different, their category side effects are different, their mechanism action is different. The first is opioid agonist. Which are the opioid agonist? Pure agonist. There are agonists at all receptors, means mu, delta and kappa, and highest affinity for mu receptors. So there is no antagonist action. All of the receptor sites they are agonist. So from the first drug like morphine, meperidine means pethidine, fentanyl, sufentanil, demifentanil, alfentanil, codeine, hydromorphone, oxymorphone, methadone, heroin. So the last four drugs are derived directly from morphine, that is hydromorphone, oxymorphone, methadone and heroin. So these are the mu receptor agonist, that is pure agonist. Among the opiates there are pure agonist. This is opioid agonist. And next is opioid agonist antagonist. This is the second number, that is opioid agonist antagonist. That means these are agonist and kappa and sigma receptors. These drugs are agonist at kappa and sigma and antagonist at mu receptors. These drugs are pentazocine, butorphanol, nalbuphine and buprenorphine. These are the agonist and antagonist action, both are present, but remember these are antagonist as mu. So some of the characters are different from the natural morphine. Opioid antagonist, totally antagonist. Actually these drugs are competitive antagonists at all receptors, because that naloxone and naltrexone and also there is another drug nalmefene, these drugs has highest affinity to the mu receptors. So when both the drugs agonist and antagonist are given to the patient, so agonist has most affinity to the mu receptors and they do not allow to bind with the agonist like morphine. So that opium effects reverses. So these are naloxone and naltrexone. These are used as a treatment for opium poisoning and also the abuse of the opium drugs. The prototype drug is morphine. So the pharmacological action of the morphine is analgesia. Morphine used as a strong analgesic. No loss of consciousness. If you give morphine, this is strong analgesic, but unconsciousness do not occur. So nociceptive pain is better relieved, and also the visceral pain, that is the abdominal pain, any abdominal related surgery or abdominal pain, visceral pain, any heart surgery. This visceral pain is more relief than the somatic pain, and it also causes sedation, drowsiness, colorful daydream, and in larger doses it causes deep sleep. Mood effects are euphoria, floating sensation, and dysphoria. In higher doses it causes depression also, because it depress the pontine and medullary ventilatory center. So respiratory diminution occur because the pontine and medullary ventilation center is depressed. This is the most common respiratory center. So respiratory center is depressed, so respiration becomes slow and there is a long gap and slow respiration. It also causes the chain stroke respiration, short respiration and long gap, and depresses the cough center also. Temperature regulation also depressed. That's why in higher doses of opium poisoning there may be a hypothermic cases, and extremity will be extremely cool, and vasomotor center is depressed. Vasomotor center when depressed, there will be low sympathetic drive and vasodilation will occur. Automatically BP will be low in higher doses. So hypotension is a side effect of larger opium overdose. And there are some stimulatory effect also. The previous we said that depression effects for this respiratory depression, and also the another depressive effect that I have said that vasomotor center depressed and BP will be low, but there is some stimulation of CTZ. CTZ controls our vomiting center. So there is a side effect of nausea and vomiting, and stimulation of Edinger-Westphal nucleus of brain which causes the meiosis, and vagal center. When vagal center is stimulated, it causes bradycardia. So these are the important signs of opium poisoning: nausea, vomiting, meiosis and bradycardia. And cardiovascular system, previously I said that it depresses the vasomotor center, so BP will be low, bradycardia, but there is no direct action on myocardium, heart muscle. Morphine does not have a direct action on myocardium. So myocardium depression has do not occur, but there is lower BP and lower heart rate. So another important point is morphine causes histamine release. Histamine release causes decreased sympathetic tone of the blood vessels. So hypotension occur. This is the important point, that is histamine release. Histamine release, for this some allergic symptoms can occur, and also the patient can go up to the hypovolemic shock. Pharmacokinetics of morphine: onset between 15 to 30 minutes, duration of action is 4 hours, and it has wide distribution and poor penetration to brain, but readily crosses the placental barrier. So mother to baby, that is placental circulation will readily occur. If my mother is addicted to morphine or heroin, the baby will must affected. It has metabolism, hepatic and extrahepatic, liver and renal, and also in lungs. That all of the sites there is metabolism, and why it causes the its metabolites are water soluble metabolites, so it excreted through kidney. Plasma T-up is 3 hours and elimination in 24 hours. So the adverse effect of morphine, I have said that dose dependent respiratory depression. In lower doses it does not cause the respiratory depression, but higher doses it causes massive respiratory depression, and we can see oxygen desaturation and chain stroke breathing. Hypotension bradycardia, and it causes the biliary colic because it causes spasm of the gallbladder and the biliary system, which causes biliary colic. It is an important point of side effects of opium: urinary retention, tolerance and dependence, and specific antidote, that is opium antagonist naloxone. Therapeutic uses of morphine. So when we use morphine, morphine nowadays is not frequently used, but some cases morphine are used, like previously used in surgical and post-op anesthesia when newer drugs are not came in the in our system, but it used in burn patients, severely burn patients. For this strong analgesic action, it used in burn patients. In infusion rate is fixed for the morphine. And AMI, like myocardial infarction patient, you also read in your pharmacology, the number one analgesic for AMI is morphine, because it has no direct action on myocardium and it relieves pain in AMI. Palliative pain in cancer patients, and visceral pain also it is used. Pulmonary embolism, in case of pulmonary embolism, it causes chest pain and pericarditis. In these cases morphine can be used. And in last and important point is acute left ventricular failure, when there is called a pulmonary edema. This is it is not the analgesic for the analgesic purpose, but the acute left ventricular failure, morphine is used, and it causes some relief in pulmonary edema. Next drug in meperidine, it also called pethidine, nowadays not used. It very frequently used in gynecology ward. Gynecologists, some old age gynecologists very much prefer this drug pethidine, but nowadays not used. It has 110 potency of morphine. It has rapid action and short duration action. So it is a rapidly acting than morphine. It causes much sedation than morphine, euphoria, respiratory depression. As more respiratory depression action is almost similar to morphine. It less meiosis, constipation and urinary retention, and it has less histamine release. So hypotension do not occur. So uses in postoperative analgesia and labor analgesia. So but it does not use nowadays because it has a direct myocardial action. It causes much myocardium depression. So patient can go into heart failure or severe hypovolemic shock. So nowadays pethidine is not used. Next is fentanyl. Fentanyl is a very common drug for anesthetist in OT and very useful. You must know the fentanyl and it is special characteristics. It is a synthetic opioid and it is made in lab. It is 100 times potent than morphine. It is 100 times potent than morphine. It has rapid action. Within 2 to 5 minutes it action starts, and short duration of action like 1 to 2 hours. So it is a lipid soluble drug, so it has rapid distribution to fat and muscles. You already knew in pharmacology, that is lipid soluble drugs are rapid distribution in fat and muscles. So and it has a redistribution effect. After 3 to 4 hours again that actions comes. Uses in analgesia, adjuvants to anesthetics and general anesthesia. It is a common drug in general anesthesia. Used in TIVA, that is called the total intravenous anesthesia. Intrathecal means spinal and epidural. Along with the bupivacaine we can give this fentanyl and labor analgesia. Fentanyl is the one drug which can be used in all the routes like IV, IM, intravenous, intramuscular, sublingual, transmucosal, transdermal. In all of the route, fentanyl can be used. So that is the advantage of fentanyl. And the transdermal use are for the cancer patient, any chronic pain patients. So transdermal patch are for fentanyl can be used. It has an important advantage than another drugs are this is cardiac stability. It doesn't cause any bradycardia, hypotension or myocardial depression action. So it is very much cardiac stable. So in cardiac cases we use fentanyl, and the side effect is one of the side effect is significant muscle rigidity in some of the patient, not all patient. It causes sudden muscle rigidity. So the tone of the muscle suddenly increased, the jaw locked, and chest cannot be moved in ventilation. So sudden saturation drop and sudden respiratory arrest. It is called wooden chest syndrome. It occurs in fentanyl, and one of the derivative of fentanyl, that is alfentanyl. This wooden chest syndrome can occur, but not all patients. Some of the rare side effect of fentanyl. Next drug is sufentanil. It is 5 to 10 times potent than fentanyl, most potent human opioid. So it is much more potent than fentanyl. It is 5 to 10 times potent than fentanyl. It is the most potent human opioid. Rapid onset, and it is also lipid soluble and crosses the blood-brain barrier. It has a side effect of respiratory depression and bradycardia are more profound. So potency is much more than fentanyl, and the side effects also much more than the fentanyl. Respiratory depression and bradycardia are more profound. Next derivative of fentanyl is alfentanyl. It is a fentanyl analog but lesser potency than fentanyl, shorter duration of action. It is very rapid action. Within 1 minute it action start. Used in noxious stimulation which is acute but transient, like when we do the laryngoscopy, for that we can, if you do this laryngoscopy, alfentanyl is very much helpful because it needs the short duration of action of analgesia. After 5 minutes is analgesia action recovers. So laryngoscopy and retrobulbar block, for any eye surgery, retrobulbar block is a common procedure. This alfentanyl can be used. It has a side effect like wooden chest syndrome. Alfentanyl has the most side effect of muscle rigidity. So wooden chest syndrome can occur. Next important drug is remifentanil. It is the most common drug used in ICU nowadays because it has extrahepatic metabolism. Potency is similar to the fentanyl, most rapid action and rapid recovery. It has smaller volume of distribution, no significant redistribution. So it has a predictable action. Metabolized by non-specific esterases. Beside liver and kidney, there is some esterases which occurs which stays in red blood cells and also the tissues. So it did not depend on liver and kidney. So liver and kidney patients, where liver and kidney are compromised, this remifentanil is the useful drug for this patient, like chronic liver failure, chronic kidney failure patients, because it has extrahepatic metabolism. So used in short intense analgesia, PCA in liver. The PCA term is patient control analgesia, where patient can control the analgesic dose of the opioid for his pain relief. This is called PCA, patient control analgesia in labor patient. In delivery patient, before the where labor pain rises, patient can control the opioid dose. In that system, that remifentanil can be used. In sedation in mechanical ventilation, most common drug used in ICU setup, where the patient is sedated for this mechanical ventilation patient, where patient is ventilated and long term ventilated, remifentanil can be used. And also some daycare surgery, like where the patient admits and get operated and relieved in the discharged in the same day, short procedures. Next drug is tramadol. Some of you know that is the common drug which are used in OT as well as ward. Tramadol can be used as well as paracetamol. We know that some of the common paracetamol drug are used with tramadol. In also is sold in pharmacy stores. This tramadol causes some relief in pain. It has dual mechanism. It also acts on the mu receptors of the moderate affinity to the mu receptors and weak affinity to kappa and delta, as well as another action is serotonin release. Tramadol increases the serotonin level and 5-HT and noradrenaline uptake inhibition. So it increases the serotonin level. So both the dual actions causes some advantage of tramadol are it used in severe shivering, in post-op patients or in some cold atmosphere patient who are severely shivering, that cases tramadol are used. It can be used orally and IV. Respiratory depression almost none in this tramadol, and also used in short diagnostic procedure and chronic pain patient. So it can cause the nausea, vomiting, because it increases the serotonin level. That serotonin level can stimulate the CTZ and causes nausea, vomiting. That important side effect of tramadol is nausea and vomiting. So along with tramadol we use domperidone or ondansetron for this relief of the side effect of nausea, vomiting. Next are opioid agonist and antagonist. Opioid agonist and antagonist, which are the drugs? This action I previously said, it has mu receptor antagonist, but agonist at kappa and delta. The first drug is pentazocine, which commonly known as Fortwin. If you visit in ward and OT, one of the common drug is Fortwin. So it potency is 1/3 of the morphine. It used in severe pain like injury, burns, trauma and operative cases. Disadvantages are depressed, it causes an increased sympathetic activity, increase the catecholamine release. So sudden increase of BP, increase of heart rate, but also depress the myocardial contractility. So in Fortwin, if we use Fortwin, we must use the monitor, because in these cases there in hypertensive patient or any old age patient, it can cause sudden increase of pressure, blood pressure, heart rate and systemic vascular resistance, and as well as pulmonary artery pressure. All of the pressure suddenly increase. So in heart patients we can't use this pentazocine, and it also partially antagonizes other opioids. If it used with other opioids like tramadol or any other opioids, it will antagonizes this opioid action. So analgesia action may be reversed. Next is butorphanol. It is 5 to 8 times more potent than morphine. Effects almost similar to pentazocine. It has less tachycardia and less abuse potential. Fortwin has a abuse potential. Nowadays Fortwin means pentazocine is heavily misused by also the healthcare professional as well as the outside the healthcare professional. One of the misused drug is pentazocine, but it has less abuse potential. Its important use is it can be used in transnasal route, which release migraine and postoperative pain, and side effects are sedation, ventilatory depression and cardiac risk. Buprenorphine, 33 times potent than morphine, 50 times more affinity for mu receptor. So it has a strong affinity to mu receptor. It can't be reversed by naloxone. One of the drug which can't be completely reversed by naloxone, it is buprenorphine. This is the only exception which is not antagonized by or reversed by naloxone. It can be used in sublingual route, parenteral, but not orally. Onset is slow, peak is 3 hours and duration is 10 hours. So, long duration of action. It can be used in general anesthesia. When we balance general anesthesia is commonly used where fentanyl is not available, we use this drug buprenorphine. And also the post-operative cases, cancer patient and renal colic patient. It can be used in spinal and epidural route along with local anesthetics. Nalbuphine, this is also nowadays used. It has also antagonist and agonist action. Onset is rapid and duration is long. In contrast to other drugs, it causes significant changes in systemic and pulmonary artery patient. So, we seen that pentazocine has increased the systemic blood pressure. Buprenorphine also increases systemic blood pressure, but these drugs do not increase the systemic and pulmonary artery pressure. So, in heart compromised patient, the nalbuphine can be used. An important drug for balanced general anesthesia. Opioid antagonist, naloxone, nalmefene and naltrexone. These are the 3 drugs in opioid antagonist. It has higher affinity to mu receptors, result in displacement of opioid agonists from the receptor sites. So, when the opioid drugs are administered, but in the meantime, if the opioid antagonists like naloxone are administered, and it will readily displace the opioid drugs from the mu receptor because it higher affinity than opioid drugs for the mu receptors. It reverses all of the opioids. Onset is 1 to 2 minutes, duration of action is 30 to 60 minutes. So, within 30 to 60 minutes almost completely reverse any opioid drug action. It causes sympathetic stimulation and also increase intracranial pressure in brain. So, in heart patient and also that in cases where there is a intracranial lesion, intracranial tumor, where brain pressure is already high, in that case naloxone is contraindicated. Uses in where there is opioid induced overdose, there is opioid induced depression of ventilation, where there is a patient is already compromised, desaturated and overdose happens. In case of abuse also, when overdose and patient is critically ill, that naloxone can be administered and it will readily reverse the opioid action. In neonates, where there is maternal abuse, when mother use the heroin or any other opioid drugs, when neonates are compromised, there is neonatal asphyxia. In these cases, naloxone can be important drug for neonatal asphyxia due to maternal opioid use. Reverse the effect of another drugs like diazepam, these are benzodiazepines, barbiturates and alcohol. Naloxone is the only one drug used in abuse. Adverse effects are nausea, vomiting, increased sympathetic activity, and it has also acute withdrawal symptoms. Like when when we use the naloxone in case of a heavily abused person, it causes acute withdrawal symptoms like nausea, vomiting, euphoria, dysphoria, anything, behavioral changes, this can happen. Another drug is naltrexone and nalmefene. Naltrexone is the only drug which can be used in orally, and nalmefene has a longer duration of action. So, tablet form in cases of opioid abuse patient, doctor use the naltrexone tablets. So we know the all of the drugs we know, but now the anesthetic technique which are used in anesthesia using the opioids. First is for analgesia, sedation, balanced anesthesia, neuroleptal anesthesia, TIVA, total intravenous anesthesia, high dose opioid anesthesia for cardiac surgery, and intrathecal infusion. These are the place where we use the opioid. Analgesia, for analgesia first comes the terminology PCA, that is patient control analgesia. There is an infusion pump and the infusion rate is set up by the doctor for the patient, and patient have a remote who can control the opioid doses. Not the whole of the doses, one of the infusion rate is fixed, but if there is increase of pain, patient can't control the very much distress, he can push the button and increase the bolus dose. So patient can control the analgesia dose. This is important terminology called patient control analgesia, which can be used in postoperative cases, also in labor pain patient. So bolus dose and infusion rate is fixed, but patient can push the button and give one bolus dose, but not frequently. That is another term called lockout interval, like 3 minutes or like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Patient can't repeatedly push the button. After a certain time, patient can push the button and give the bolus dose to himself or herself. Next is sedation cases. When analgesia, more important use for sedation, like ICU patient, post-operative cases of cardiac surgery. In when after the cardiac surgery, morphine is the most commonly drug nowadays also in the cardiac ICU. And another important drug, previously I have said that remifentanil, because it has a short duration of action and it has a extrahepatic metabolism. So for sedation in ICU cases, remifentanil is used, and common is balanced general anesthesia for all of the patient. Before the laryngoscopy and intubation, we use one of the opioid. Most commonly is fentanyl, and another also the alphentanil, supentanil or buprenorphine and nalbuphine. All of the drugs are used for balanced general anesthesia, and it reduces the post-operative pain, also intraoperative pain, and also the anxiety of the patient. Decrease the somatic and autonomic response to airway stimulation. So when the laryngoscopy, when we do the laryngoscopy, the result is sudden increase in vasomotor tone of the patient, increase in BP. But if you use opioid beforehand, that it will relieve the somatic and autonomic response to the airway stimulation. Reduce the dose of sedative hypnotic agents. So if you use the opioid drug, it also reduce the dose of another benzodiazepines or barbiturates dose. So opioid is useful in balanced general anesthesia, and it is important quality of this opioid is hemodynamic stability. So it doesn't cause any sudden vascular depress the vascular tone or respiratory depression. In moderate doses it doesn't cause, which can occur in barbiturates or benzodiazepines. So in cardiac surgery, opioid based anesthesia is used. Total intravenous anesthesia, when the inhalation agents are compromised, in case of any patient where we can't use or not available that inhalation agents. So total intravenous anesthesia, opioids as the more common combination is propofol with alphentanil or fentanyl. Some cardiac surgery can occur only with opioid. No other drugs, inhalation or IV, propofol or ketamine or any other sedative drugs are not used, only based on opioid. So first performed with morphine, then fentanyl and supentanil. So nowadays fentanyl based cardiac anesthesia happens because it is important quality, stable hemodynamics. Another use is intrathecal infusion. It is used nowadays for spinal and epidural anesthesia, we use the bupivacaine, that is the local anesthesia, along with these drugs like tramadol, nalbuphine, fentanyl or sufentanil, that for epidural and spinal doses, it potentiates the action of the local anesthesia because it direct access to the substantia gelatinosa of the dorsal horn of the spinal cord. So, when you use the direct to the spinal CSF, it causes direct access to the substantia gelatinosa of the dorsal horn of the spinal cord. Tramadol and fentanyl you use in OT. If you visit the OT, you see that anesthetic giving tramadol, in some cases fentanyl. Newer drug delivery system. Now, in this drug delivery system, this opioid are used. That is transdermal therapeutic system. This is the terminology, transdermal therapeutic system, where fentanyl is very much used because it is a lipid soluble structure. It can pass through the transdermal route to the direct to the circulation. It is called TTS fentanyl. It advantage is no fast metabolism occurs in liver and it gives a consistent analgesia. It not metabolizing in liver, firstly go to the circulation and to the body, and used in cancer pain patient where there is chronic long pain. The TTS fentanyl patch is given to the patient in both arm may be used, so, and it does not cause very much respiratory depression, but patient can be monitored. Another is ionophoretic transdermal patch, where the drug passes through the skin is augmented with external electrical current. So, by using current, the transdermal route is augmented. Mostly commonly used drug is fentanyl. Transmucosal drug delivery, opiates with high lipid solubility like fentanyl, sufentanil, remifentanil can be used in sublingual doses, that is available in sweetened lozenges. In lozenge form, these drugs are available like methadone and fentanyl and buprenorphine. So, patient is given a lozenge is given to the patient, and after some time the pain is relieved. Used in children. So transmucosal drug delivery using the lozenge can be used in pediatric cases. Target control infusion, where the computer controlled infusion pumps are used. So, doctors set up the bolus dose and infusion rate, and where the patient is monitored in ICU, and it can go up to 24 hours, 72 hours, whatever needed. Another term we I said that patient control analgesia, where the continuous infusion can happen, but after the continuation infusion, if the patient having pain, patient can increase the bolus doses, and according to the it has a flexibility of giving the bolus doses according to patient need. So, this is the opioid analgesia.